Welcome back to 1834 Restoration House. I'd like to thank all of our subscribers and all of our viewers for sticking with us during this time when we don't have a house to restore. As you know, we're trying to find another really great house, and we're taking you along and showing you some really neat places that are potential houses to restore. And we appreciate all the feedback. Some of you love them, some of you hate them, but it always generates some interesting discussion. Back in 2018, we produced a video of a really grand old house. Now, we love grand old houses. This house was built in 1900 and probably one of the grandest houses I've ever seen because it's a castle. Up on the St. Lawrence River between New York and Canada, on an island, sits the Bolt Castle. One of the most amazing places I've ever seen in my life. And we spent the day there and we got a lot of film, and I'd like to share that with you now. So here it is in its entirety, just as we shot it back then. This was lifted off of our other channel. It's an adventure and exploration channel.
I have always wanted to visit a castle, but this time I don't have to go to Europe. We got one right here in New York. So we're gonna go check it out, look it all over. And I don't know the history, we'll find out as we get there.
Everybody's heard of Thousand Island dressing. Well, today we're in the actual Thousand Islands of upstate New York. We're in the city of Alexandria Bay, and in a few minutes we're going to be taking a boat ride out to Bolt Castle. Way back in 1900, there was a man named George Bolt, and he was the proprietor of the Astoria Waldorf Hotel in New York City, which was a very prestigious hotel. Now, George, he loved his wife. I mean, he really loved his wife because he bought this island right here, and he built this castle back behind me. Do you love your wife that much? I know I do. I would build you a castle, yes I would. Anyway, so I'm just kind of looking at the notes here, and it says that he built this as a display of his love for his wife, Louise. And so he had 300 workers, stonemasons, carpenters, and artists, and so forth. And he built this enormous castle. No expense was spared. He started this in 1900. Now the problem is, in 1904, his wife suddenly died. It was a big tragedy, and he just couldn't get over it. And so he stopped all work on the castle, and it was never occupied by the Bolt family.
The name of the island is Heart Island. Love the heart. Isn't this amazing? I'm loving this.
Right behind me is the Alster Tower. Now, some people around here have referred to it as the Playhouse, and you can kind of see why. I mean, doesn't it look like a great place to run and play in, even for us older folks?
Maybe this is why they call it the Playhouse. It's a nickname, of course, but look how tiny it is. Yeah, they're always still working on it. We're in the Alster Tower. If you look over here, there's a picture before 1990. That's what it used to look like with all the decay. They're still restoring this. As you can see over here, there's plaster, lab. You can see the brickwork. They're still restoring all this, but they've got it safe enough that people can come in and check things out. On this other side, you can see some of the tile that originally was in here.
Want to go find your stroller? Here. Yeah.
A lot of times we go into abandoned places, we'll say things like, wouldn't it be great if somebody would restore this? And what a tragedy that they've let this decay so far. Well, here's an example of one that actually is being restored and being done very well. So you can still see some of the work going on, and it's just kind of a long-term process. It'll take a while, but that's okay.
It was for the kids. Oh, okay. They're children. We were just talking with the docent, and she was telling us that Alster Tower was the playhouse, so to speak. It was predated before the castle. He used to bring over his guests, and they would play. They would have fun. This was his entertainment center area. They did all kinds of games and such here, but it was also the relaxing area. They had a kitchen and everything. She also said they just finished the front half, and they're working their way towards the back half. When they're finished, it will be completely restored to where it was in the original form.
Hey, look what I just found. This is actually a vent, and back behind here is really something interesting.
Behind me is the tunnel. That's the bowling alley.
They're fixing it.
It's beautiful.
This is the old power plant building. We've taken you into some pretty busted up places before, and we've all seen power plant videos on YouTube, but have you ever seen one like this? I mean, this place is absolutely perfect.
Come check this out, a big conference room above. Look at this switch. This beautiful building behind me is the Bolt's Yacht House. Isn't that amazing? It's huge! The Bolt Castle is behind us. Let's go check it out. Well, we made it to the castle, had our ice cream already, and now we're about to go inside. Let's check it out. As we look around the castle, do remember and keep in mind this castle was never finished and it was derelict for 73 years. These people have done a marvelous job at restoring this place. It is absolutely gorgeous.
There's a lot more.
Yeah, there is a lot more.
Okay, let's go check this out.
Okay.
Barrels of imported ceramic tile. That's incredible. All this was just sitting there. That's water going through the pipe. Chlorine. This property is protected by video surveillance.
I saw a sign for a pool back there. Yeah,
Yeah, right
there's
there.
a pool there. This
Well,
way. That's
hang
the
on.
way out.
That's ooh, that's great.
Yeah.
Check this out. Here's some little staircase. It goes up. In the midst of all this, there's a flower pot.
That is beautiful. They did an amazing job restoring this place. Now let's head upstairs. More rooms, probably bedrooms. Maybe not.
Creating Rhode Island. George Bolt had a collection of over 60 boats. The larger ones were housed inside the yacht house, including 2 Gold Cup racers and a 105-foot houseboat.
Go ahead.
Time to see the 3rd floor. This castle is still in repair. Even though it's taken them many years to get this far, it's going to take them many more to finish it. As you can see behind me, this is the 3rd floor. They're still working on it.
we have here?
Detailed plans of the Bolt Castle.
That's incredible. Take a picture so we can build one of our own.
Yeah.
This is plaster, which is far superior to sheetrock. Everybody uses sheetrock nowadays because it's simple and easy. But in the old days, plaster was the way to go. So what they would do is you had your substrate here, and then they had a kind of a Portland cement mix. Now this Portland cement mix is probably, I'm going to say it's about 1.5 inches thick right here, and then right over the top this really thin layer of the actual plaster itself. And this is what gives it that super smooth, nice finish.
It's pretty amazing to see an old place being restored, but getting to have the public come in and actually see the different sections that are still being restored is incredible. It's absolutely wonderful to see the different things they used and how they used to build it. It's amazing.
That means there's a hole in the floor and they had to cover that. So where are you headed now?
I don't know, fourth story, I suppose.
Yeah, third or fourth, I don't really, kind of lost count.
Fourth.
Fourth floor?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Here you can see the original construction where they probably had it plastered at one time. Here you can see the top of the stained glass dome that shines down over the staircase. It's actually in its own weather protected area. You can see the light or the windows way up above. And I imagine they probably had lights at some point to illuminate this thing at night. That's the tower room way back over there. Let me see if I can adjust that. There we go. There's the tower room, which we don't get to go into.
You even have a fireplace over here.
Yeah, this place has a lot of fireplaces. Let me show you the view out the window here. That is incredible. Look at the workmanship there, the stonework, the slate roof, the copper. I don't know if you can see that round window over there, or just the details. I mean, the details of that thing are incredible. I wish this window wasn't so dirty.
Now we don't have to worry about the dirty window, but you can see the details much better. This is incredible. Another stairway, another floor. Let's go.
You guys can go up there.
How many floors is this? 5, 6, 7? I don't know.
We're gonna walk down. There's a back down.
I think this is 5 or 6.
I don't know. Can you imagine how many plasterers it took to do this entire castle? Like the way you
Oh,
did here?
this is the end.
What is it?
It's
What do we
bolted.
have?
Oh, look at
So,
that.
what do we have here? Camera gets to see.
Check it out, folks.
What
It's
do
the
we
tower.
have?
Or roof.
Wait a minute, that looks like another stairway over there. There is another stairway.
It goes to a door, which goes outside.
Oh, cool. So this is the top of the castle, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, but check out those big iron I-beams there with rivets and everything.
Who's looking at the teddy bear at the bottom of the stairs? Wow.
Yes. Someday this too will be restored and we can go in there, and so can you if you come.
Mark and Carol, 1978.
1978.
Another little room.
It's just absolutely amazing.
But this room is not so bad we can't come into it.
Right. Here's one of those round windows. We saw
Yeah.
earlier.
That's what they're saying, people are facing the front.
I think it connects.
This here is an absolute no-no. There's not to be any graffiti. We're absolutely exhausted. We've been up and down floors. I don't know how many floors we went up, but there must have been 4 or 5, maybe 6, including the attic. And it's pretty hot here today and kind of humid. There's one more tower that we need to explore, and that's the one behind me. A wedding just broke up here, so we can now go inside. At one time you could get up there, but they take the ladders down. Back behind me you see the remains of the old fountain. The old fountain, of course, was busted up and just didn't work anymore. So in the spirit of restoration, what they've done is they've taken it all down, they've poured a new foundation, and they're going to build it back up exactly the way it was before, so it'll look like it was when it was brand new. And that's really the goal here at the castle, is to make everything look like it did the day that it would have been finished had Mr. Bolt not stopped the construction back after his wife died. So we'll get to enjoy some things that they didn't get to enjoy. So thank you, Mr. Bolt, for starting such a wonderful work that we get to enjoy today.
Well, that's it for today here at the Bolt Castle. Thank you for coming and joining us in this amazing adventure, getting to see unfinished and restored parts of the castle as it's being done. If you're ever in upstate New York, you gotta come check this place out. It is at least 3-4 hours in a day that you're going to want to spend here, so you can casually take your time. Hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. Thanks again.